deep into this case. Terrorism charges are very, very, very serious, charges. You were accused of committing this offense in the year 2021. You were appointed by President Lungu only in December of 2020. At the time, this offense in 2021, it was bailable before the amendment of the Anti-Terrorism and Non-Proliferation Act, which was introduced. Regardless of this, you were denied, your constitutional bail rights. How would you describe the adherence to the due process and the protection of, human rights by government, especially that this is the core message that President Hichilema came with when he preached the restoration of law, the rule of law and order?
Okay, thank you. To start with, I need to put it on record that my arrest was a political witch hunt. It was a malicious attack on those people that seemed to be close to ECA or the former president. And therefore, I was privy to the fact that the people that arrested me, even at the point of arrest, never got any statement from me because they knew that I had zero connection and zero knowledge about the case they charged me in. So I stayed in police cells for a month. There is no police officer who came to explain to me why I was arrested and why I was arrested.
Just hold on there. You were incarcerated for a month without charge?
Without charge. I could just hear and see media statements from the police spokespersons and other government officials talking about charges which myself, I was never explained to.
You were never read your rights?
That was denied to me. It is something that I need to make clear so that as we go by, you need to understand that I came from that background. Even when I appeared before the court, there was no warn and caution statement for me, which I signed. Because, as I said, even the arresting officer never came to explain to me why I was arrested. I was just bundled in the police cells for a month. But also, before 1 month expired, you remember that there was an episode where after 2 weeks, when people said, take him to court, I was following those debates and advocacy. I was bundled in the night around 20 hours, taken to a prison, straight from the police cells, without going through a court process. As you may be aware, you cannot enter a prison in Zambia without a warrant from the judge, from the court. But I was among, if not the first Zambian, who was taken to a prison at Chimboka in the night when the prison was already closed, bundled there without any document from the court. After 3 days, the prison system said, look, we can't keep this gentleman here because there are no documents from the court. I was taken back, removed from the prison, taken back to another police station. So from Woodlands police station, where I stayed for a week, I was taken back after 3 days in prison to now Ibex police station, where I stayed for another 3 weeks. So from the word go, I want to put on record that what the president has been preaching and what is happening in the police service and what happened to me, there is a huge contradiction. To a great extent, it's a political mockery of what he says by those who enforce it, or it's deliberate for those who are in some offices to undermine him, or it's a political scheme targeted at specific individuals who seem to political critics of the government to punish them.
Based on your experience, where do you think the breakdown seems to happen? I've had the Minister of Justice sit right where you're sitting, preaching the same hymn sheet from the president, saying thorough investigations need or ought to be conducted by the police before arresting somebody. We need to be very clear. We've seen so many cases of compensation based on probably the incompetence or the professional misconduct of police. Where, according to your experience, is this breakdown? Do you really feel that the police are being politically sent or intimidated?
Yeah, no, it's both. They are in some cases, and in the case of my case, they are being politically sent as well as directed. These are police officers who would arrest you today without any zero evidence as to why they have arrested you. They sit down to cook up a charge against you. They have zero evidence. While you're inside, they begin to mobilize witnesses against you. They begin to investigate and cook up